Dr. Naseer Aruri is Chancellor Professor Emeritus of Political Science at the University of Massachusetts at Dartmouth. And he has just completed a book manuscript tentatively titled Imperial America, The Root Cause of September 11th. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Naseer Aruri.
Thank you. Yesterday marks the 40th anniversary of the 67 occupation, and despite 40 years of peacemaking, the occupation continues. And so it behooves us to say why. Why does it continue after 40 years of occupation? Well, I can think of two reasons. One reason is that this is not a normal occupation. A normal occupation might have ended sooner, but it's not a normal occupation. So what is it then? The second reason is that the peacemaker, who has assigned himself to be the peacemaker, by the way, not chosen or elected, has been a co-belligerent rather than a real peacemaker. You can't be the honest broker and the bankroller as well as the chief diplomatic backer all at the same time, and I should add arms supplier as well. First, as you know, the term genocide refers to mass killing of a whole nation or a whole people, and it does involve sometimes ethnic cleansing. This is not exactly what happened in the occupied territories. But while it is not what is happening in the occupied territories, there is something else happening for the past 40 years. And that is political genocide, which I think can be termed politicide. It's better known as politicide rather than political genocide. It is a process which aims to destroy the aspirations of a whole nation for independence in political, economic, and social terms. Israel controls the Palestinians in terms of space, in terms of force, and in terms of time. And that is accomplished through politics. It's accomplished through economics at the same time. It's accomplished through the bureaucracy, even if that meant a lowly administrator sitting in the Interior Ministry in Jerusalem, giving orders to send bulldozers to do a number of positions that are normally assigned to bulldozers these days. So a bureaucrat can do it. And it is also accomplished in addition to diplomacy. Hence, it is important to talk about the peace process, because that is part of the political genocide, the peace process. So if you're really part of the problem, can you be part of the solution at the same time? So diplomacy can be also utilized, and I think we have seen lately how the so-called international community, I don't think I have ever heard the international community mentioned so frequently in my life as I have in the past year or two. The international community that Washington keeps talking about and invoking to support its misguided efforts to presumably do something about this occupation. Well, it's doing something. I think what it's doing is that it has been reinforcing politicide, because Israel, without the United States, could not have maintained this occupation and could not go on with the politicide. Now, when the roadmap was released, shortly after that, I don't want to go into historic details, but just to say quickly that Sharon proposed 114 amendments. They were somehow reduced to 14 amendments. I don't know whether the 114 to 14, if there's any significance. But eventually, Sharon declared the roadmap null and void. And together with Olmert, they turned their attention to putting in place a running apartheid system, the veracity of which had not existed even in South Africa. By the attestation of people like Bishop Tutu, there is also Professor John Dugard, who is the UN Rapporteur for Human Rights. He said the apartheid system in the occupied territories, that's a direct quotation from Dugard, is worse than the one that existed in South Africa, which is exactly the same language that Archbishop Tutu used. And because of that, I think we have witnessed the beginning of a new discourse. In other words, there's not much faith in the two-state solution, despite Bush's claims. Because of that, I think we have witnessed a new discourse about a single state based on the concept of equal protection of the law. One person, one vote. This kind of struggle may sound unrealistic. It might sound utopian. In fact, I think it does sound utopian to many people. And I would say that it certainly has more prospects for success than the whole range of the peace process. I'm not saying that it's happening today, tomorrow. The peace process has already been rendered to the dustbin of history. The single state will not happen in the short term, but the pursuit of it has already begun. Thank you.